Working test.
I hope so. Yeah, I think so.
Let me try, I'll try and pull it.
I'm trying to make sure the stream is working. Shoulder struggle with these glasses. Yep, I think we live, just. All right.
Sammy's paper, read the lights. Step has it.
What is that? I got it.
You got, you got the ordinance, everybody's got that, ordinance in your packet, okay?
All right.
We ask all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Pledge of allegiance. Alderwoman Marks.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank y'all. Roll call, please, Ms. Tessa. Clerk is out sick this evening.
Chuck Ashby.
Present.
Katie Shetzoff. Here. Brian Court.
Here.
Jeff Doré.
Here.
Vicky Lachlan.
Here.
Vernon Morton.
Here.
Sandy Moore.
Here,
Sammy Reggie. And Byron Wilbur.
Here.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, we'll recess the council meeting and open public hearing. Mr. Ray, you want to read?
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a public hearing for the proposed adoption of ordinance number 1540, an ordinance to annex and include those certain tracts of parcel lands entirely surrounded by the corporate limits of the city of Crowley by defining the boundaries of those tracts of parcels of land situated within and completely surrounded by the existing corporate boundaries of the city of Crowley, including the following described properties. Number one, 2.28 acres situated in section 28, township 9 south, range 1 east, City of Paris, Louisiana, belonging to Gulf South Pipeline Company, LP. 2.486 acres situated in section 28, township 9 south, range 1 east, City of Paris, Louisiana, belonging to Anthony Thompson. 3, 11.61 acres situated in section 28, township 9 south, range 1 east, City of Paris, Louisiana, belonging to Clark's Lake LLC. 4.69 acres situated in the northeast quarter of section 33, township 9 south, range 1 east, City of Paris, Louisiana, belonging to Cobalt Blue LLC. Number 5, 1.895 acres situated in the northeast quarter of section 33, township 9 south, range 1 east, City of Paris, Louisiana, belonging to Sabagian Properties LLC. Number 6, 0.62 acres situated in the northeast quarter of section 33, township 9 south, range 1 east, City of Paris, Louisiana, belonging to Tri-Parish Holdings LLC. And 7, 0.03 acres situated in the northeast corner of lot 6 of the PND Properties subdivision of the city of Crowley, situated in the northeast quarter of section 33, township 9 south, range 1 east, City of Paris, Louisiana, belonging to GBL Legacy LLC, by defining the outer boundaries of each area or island to include the above the tracts in the parcel of land. To annex and include within the corporate boundary, number 8, 4.51 acres situated in section 28, Township 9 South, Range 1, Acadia Parish, Louisiana, belonging to the Acadia Parish, Louisiana, according to the petition for and consent to annexation, to include and annex that portion of Cherokee Road north of the drainage district belonging to the 6th Ward Crowley Drainage District to the south boundary of Interstate 10 within the corporate limits, to rezone those properties so annexed from R1 Residential District to C3 Highway Commercial District and M1 Medical Services District, to amend and enlarge the corporate boundary of the city of Crowley by redefining the corporate boundary to include within the corporate boundary the said properties entirely surrounded by the corporate limits, to provide for the effective date of the ordinance, to provide for the provisions thereof to be settled, to provide, to repeal all ordinances, ordinances inconsistent herewith or in conflict thereto, and to provide for all matters relative thereto. That's a long excuse. I'm out of breath.
Offer to agree.
It's a
Oh, just close hearing. Okay. First call for the proponents, come forward at this time. If anyone would like to speak in favor of adoption of the ordinance, please come forward to the microphone, state your name and your reasons. Second call for the proponents. Anyone wishing to step forward at this time? Third and final call. See no one, we may ask that the opponents do the same. First call for the opponents, anyone wishing to speak against this proposed ordinance, please step forward at this time to the microphone. Second call, anyone wishing to speak in opposition. Third and final call for the opponents. Hearing none there, I have one comment there. We had a recommendation from the planning commission that was reviewed by the zoning and annexation committee. Mr. Martin will read those minutes shortly. I have included in the packet. In case the council wishes to adopt that recommendation, that all the properties in the island near the hospital, with the smogging properties, including Cobalt Blue, would be rezoned from R1 to M1 Medical District. And you have all of your descriptions and exhibits attached with an index. Mayor, and the public hearing at this time.
All right, we'll close the public hearing and reopen the council meeting. Appearances, the Boys and Girls Club.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Alderman. Is this on?
push the button.
Oh. I probably could have shouted loud enough, just let you know. First of all, thank you all for being here. I do want to recognize real quick folks that are with me because I'm certainly not a one-woman show. We've got, I'll start in the back, Mary Zonbrecker, we've got Lee Lawrence, Rich Hughes, Kim Stringfellow, and her trusty sidekick, and Ms. Barbara Morgan here. Thank you again for your time tonight. About 18 months ago, a group of us decided that Crowley should have a Boys and Girls Club. We've been asked about past efforts towards such a project. God, I feel like I'm screaming. 30 years ago, I remember sitting in the old depot with a group of community leaders to gauge interest in a club. Not many years later, former Councilwoman Loretta Peete took up that mantle and began another process. She took ill and was not able to continue, but she did tell a dear friend that she hoped to see a Boys and Girls Club open in Crowley before she passed away. I'm proud to say that through the work of some amazing individuals, a lot of them sitting behind me, feel passionately as I do about establishing a club in Crowley. We're well on our way to opening the doors. The Crowley Boys and Girls Club Advisory Council is made up of a diverse group of individuals who each bring something special to the table. Expertise, perspective, connections. Each of us shares a desire to see our children safe, well-educated, and nurtured so they become the best people that they can become. When we see our children, we see their potential and our future. Most people recognize the name Boys and Girls Club, but they don't know what that means or what opportunities the organization provides. They aren't just an after-school care program. They aren't just a tutoring program. They aren't simply a place for kids to have fun and hang out. What they are is programmatic, structured, safe, consistent, and yes, fun. Each person who has toured a nearby club walks away with not only a better understanding, but an excitement for what it can bring to Crowley and to our children. A few nuts and bolts for you, and I did take the liberty of handing these out, some bullet points for you, and you'll also see the names of our advisory committee members there. The clubs are open when children are most at risk. That is in the afternoon after school until 7 p.m. and from 7:30 until 5:30 in the summertime. We're also working to have the club open on Monday since Acadia Parish is operating on a 4-day work week. And I just want to pause. One of our members, Kim, printed something out that she found on the internet, and everything on the internet's true, but I trust her. That was a joke. The prime time for juvenile crime in the United States is 2 to 6. So the Boys and Girls Club didn't just pull that number or that time out of the air. They've done their research and their due diligence. We have identified a third of the building that at one time housed Christian Villa Nursing Home as our site. It checked all the boxes: easy access in an area of greatest need, square footage and a great floor plan, a secure entrance, and a bonus, a fenced-in yard. We would rent the space at a nominal fee and already have a benefactor lined up who will cover the cost of rent for the first 3 years. As a matter of fact, Ms. Barbara Morgan, who is the owner of that building, has been wonderful in working with her, and they will simply be the tenants, and it was a great space that required little renovation, which, again, checked another box. At the club, children are separated by age groups. They serve children 6 to 18. They do homework when they get there, and then cycle through fun activities that also support learning and personal development. A tech or computer room, an art room, fantastic technology that allows them to learn and have fun, and those are just some of the programmatic opportunities that the club offers. The children are given a hot meal between 4:30 and 5. The staff consists of a center director and part-time staff hired on a 1 counselor to 15, and would be hired by the Boys and Girls Clubs of Acadiana administrative staff based on specific requirements and receive months of training and job shadowing, so he or she is prepared to create the most beneficial environment for the students. Each student is assessed a $25 fee. Now, that money represents a buy-in and ownership of the program. If a student is unable to afford that fee, arrangements are already in place to have it covered by a scholarship. But if a parent wants that ownership and wants that buy-in and wants to engage financially, they can say, I'll pay $1 a month, I'll pay $5 a month, whatever you can afford. That's going to be completely up to the parents in the event they aren't able to front that $25. We've worked shoulder to shoulder with not only one another, but also with the Boys and Girls Clubs of Acadiana administration. The Crowley Club would operate under their charter, as do 2 clubs in Lafayette, 2 in New Iberia, and 1 each in Abbeville, Opelousas, and Natchitoches. Lake Charles opened a club very recently, and they've already identified 2 additional sites for clubs, and they're well on their way to opening the doors of those. Our committee discussed a few times in the beginning, why don't we just do it ourselves? Simply, why reinvent the wheel when a successful 120-year program is available? Boys and Girls Clubs has a track record of success. Success looks like children who have self-esteem, a sense of confidence and pride, college educations or good jobs. People who are not only productive but engaged citizens and credit their time at the Boys and Girls Club for their success. A club director in Lafayette is a product of the Boys and Girls Clubs. She tells the story of finding a way to get to the club every day and being proud of the way that she can share that experience with the students in her care now. A former coworker of mine currently sits on the Boys and Girls Clubs of Acadiana's board of directors. He's a supervisor and up for a promotion to manager in a tech field. And he calls himself a product of the Abbeville Boys and Girls Club. A recognizable name, and I'm going to use Kim's page because she did it so well. When I went to the Boys and Girls Club, I was being taught about grace, about winning with grace, losing with grace, and being a leader. And that was Denzel Washington, who is the national speaker for Boys and Girls Clubs. Please believe me when I say that you cannot fully grasp what clubs can offer to students in a community until you see it. But I can point you to what success looks like. It looks like Ebony, the club director. It looks like Jordy, who's a supervisor and will become a manager. And it looks like Denzel Washington. So what are we asking of you tonight? Pretty simple. philosophical support, encouragement, and positivity. Believe in what we're trying to do. I'm not asking you to do any of those things unless you believe in the project, though. What I will request is that you ask questions, find truthful information, and make a decision based on that. And if anyone asks you questions, we are all here to help and educate. Please feel free to point them to one of us. We can tell you it has become a full-time labor of love. Feel free to talk to your peers. Mayor Frederick DeCourt in New Iberia has seen the benefits firsthand and worked to open another club in that city because he recognized the value and the need. Mayor Mick Hunter in Lake Charles is of a similar mind to Freddie. Reach out to them, reach out to the council members, ask them if you don't want to take our word for it, and that's okay too. Trust but verify. And then lastly, prayer for success if it's God's will and for stamina. It's been a long road for all of us and the race is not nearly finished. Lastly, we ask you to engage as you can. We are planning a town hall style meeting on December 4th at 5:30 at the Apex building. Many of you know it as the old Walmart building. The school board owns it, and Scott Richard, Carol Tall, and James Etta David have been incredibly supportive and accommodating. As a matter of fact, children whose parents so choose will be able to ride the bus from school to the club, so parents don't have to worry about transportation from one place to the other. We are extending invitations to that meeting to all elected officials who serve Crowley, to you, police jury members, school board members, pastors from all Crowley churches, community leaders, benefactors, and frankly, anyone who would like more detailed information and a look at our long-range plan. We'll also be encouraging attendees to bring questions that they may have. And I'll end with this because it tickles them when I tell this story. When I was young, many moons ago, my 5-foot-tall grandmother, May, she would get so frustrated. She'd watch things, she'd read things, she'd get so frustrated with the way the world was going, and she would meet me at the door of her house. I'm 5'7", she was 4'11" on a good day. She would meet me at the door after reading or watching something, and with all the height she could muster, would raise her hands and shout, "You people need to do something." And at the time, and for many years to come, I wasn't exactly sure what something I was supposed to do, so I just did my best until I could figure it out. What I can tell you tonight standing here is that this project feels like something, and it's really good something. If you have any questions, we're here to answer them, and I certainly appreciate your time tonight and any of your support. Sorry, I can't see far with my glasses, I can only see close.
I struggle with this new device myself.
We'll have to talk about that later.
Mr.
Yes, sir,
Martin.
Steph.
Well, first of all, it wasn't no 30 years ago when we met. He said, I don't believe it. You said a few things that brought back a lot of memories, especially with the speaker. This was her baby. And I remember when it got so close that we thought it was a done deal. Only to have smashed out from under our feet, and it was devastating to her. I remember talking to her and asking how she felt, and she looked me dead in the eye and said, "Steph, I don't have anything." But through time, everything seems to heal. I want to thank the Reverend and First Lady Morgan for, I'm going to use the term, the tenacity to see this through. A lot of people backed off. And also the prophets, they were there. And I remember the fight because I was blessed to see that both of the ladies that pushed it, meaning Miss Peter and Miss Parker, said, "Right, you'll see." And I was always proud to back them up, as they used to say, they were the kid glove and I was the sledgehammer. But
I don't see that at all, Steph.
that's the way it came out. But I just want to thank y'all. This is something that Crowley needs, and at the end of the day, it's going to benefit everybody. And I just hope and pray that it becomes a success.
I appreciate that, Steph, more than you know. We've been working very hard, and a lot of us, well, all of us are just doing it because it's the right thing to do.
And I thank you for that. Thank you.
So I appreciate you. Thanks, Deb.
Yes.
Anybody else, any other
I
questions?
keep sitting down because I'm shaking, like I've never
Tracy,
talked in front of a crowd.
Tracy, I know, I was just saying, I know this is your first time speaking at a microphone.
Look, I'm shaking. What the heck, Ray?
No, we upstairs.
There's only,
You know what's going
the
on?
camera, the only camera in here cannot see you right now. So I know you're a little camera shy.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Listen, I mean,
yeah.
thank y'all.
Upstairs.
I know the council, I wanna give the council the opportunity to say what they have to say.
Okay.
So I won't say on behalf of myself and the council, I'll just speak for myself. I unfortunately have not had the time to attend most of the meetings and continue going with you all, although I do keep up with it. And we did go and visit with some
And
potential.
we appreciate you taking that time, Chad.
But y'all are really and truly the heartbeat of this effort, and I know that you're not doing it for any recognition, but it has to help whenever you get a little thank you, and I want to thank y'all for doing this. I think this is going to be huge for our youth in our city. I've seen it in other cities, and it works. Like you said, they have 120 years of experience of doing this. Why reinvent the wheel? And I cannot thank y'all enough for continuing this. We do have a powerhouse of volunteers sitting out there, really.
And we have some that aren't here too.
Yes.
A lot. You've seen the list. A lot of these folks right now, tonight, are just basically our fundraising core.
Right.
We're we're hat in hand, that's what we do.
Which is probably the toughest.
Oh yeah,
part.
it's not been fun. But I have to tell you, I do have to tell you, we have made a lot of progress. Pleasantly surprised by the fundraising progress that we've made. We've had some, my mouth to God's ears, we may be ready to not open, but start the process of opening as soon as the first of the year. Our goal is fall 2024. As you can imagine, fundraising has to be in place, then the Boys and Girls Clubs of Acadiana kicks in. They do everything they need in terms of leases, building, staffing, all of the things they need to do. But that takes time. So, once we have that money in place, they're gonna start that process.
And the hope so to be able to serve how many?
Well, we are, I think the building, roughly about 120 can be in the building. Just so that you guys know, and I'm gonna say this wrong, but I'm gonna say it as best I know how. They can have not as many, they can have more members on the roster than may actually show up, because kids might not go every day. You know, they may go to Miss Audrey's tutoring on Monday and Wednesday, and then on Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, they go to the Boys and Girls Club, or kids have to go to school, they don't have to go to the Boys and Girls Club. So they make it to where they want them to go. And there will be outreach efforts by them, and again, we're working with the schools. We're trying to do every single thing they've told us to do because their formula works.
Right. And that was my next point, final point is, it's important to know that the Boys and Girls Club group here in Crowley is adamant and feels it extremely important to work with Miss Audrey's group of educators to include them in this process, because her product that she puts out is extremely beneficial to our city and our youth. So it's important that people realize that the Boys and Girls Club movement is moving to include Miss Audrey in
Oh yeah,
that situation.
that was never on
It's
the
important.
table. I mean, as a matter of fact, way back when, we thought, okay, it's not a competition. It's
No.
helping the children and providing opportunities. Miss Audrey has a very good handle on those children who need to be hyper-served educationally. And, you know, we certainly wouldn't want to stand in the way of that, but that's the other thing, it's open every day, and kids don't have to check a box that they come every day. So your answer, we can enroll more, and enroll meaning membership, but not every child comes every day. They estimate about 50 or 60 kids in attendance every day, with about 100 to 120 every day in the summertime.
Awesome. Anybody else? Chuck,
I mean, if you could give an update on this, I know y'all had to have a 3-year financial in place before opening. What was that goal and where are y'all
Sure.
in that goal?
I can tell you that the goal for the first year is just over $300,000. The goal for the budget, it's the budget, it's not the goal, it's the budget. They have a line item budget that they shared with us that includes everything. And I'm gonna not get the number exact in my head, but it's just over 300,000 for the first year and 300 for the subsequent years. That number may go up by about $40,000 or $50,000 because we want to add the Monday. That was very important to us and something that we've been talking about since Acadia Parish went to a 4-day school week. I can tell you that we are more than halfway there. And we've got probably, I think I'm safe to say, we've probably got 3 or 4 very generous benefactors who have agreed that they'll step up and do what we need to do. So we know that we'll get there. We're gonna go, yeah, and our next step too, after this big, and you might get a letter in the mail, just let you know. They do have tiered giving for what we're calling tier 2 individuals. It may be smaller businesses, it may be individuals, but that's the tier 2. We went after the ones that really could do the heaviest lifting first, and that's our next phase. And you'll probably be getting in the mail before the first of the year. Just gonna let you know, be looking for it.
great question, if some of our citizens say, oh man, I can't give thousands of
And they don't
dollars
need to.
for 3 years straight or more.
No, think about
If
this.
someone wants to
If they wanna do
pledge,
$25, if they wanna do $50, if they wanna do $100, I always think, St. Jude's very near and dear to my heart, and Danny Thomas, when he established St. Jude, said, I would rather get $1 from 1 million people than $1 million from one, because everybody buys in. So, and after we get that big chunk, I would love it if everybody came to the table and said, look, I'll give you $50 a year, I'll give you $100 a year, because then the community's buying in, and that is what the Boys and Girls Clubs of Acadiana actually wants to see. Because if the community doesn't wrap their arms around this, it's gonna go away, and that's something that we don't want. The reason for the 3-year commitment. No, doesn't come to us, and what is raised in Crowley stays in Crowley. I'm glad you said that. Boys and Girls Clubs of Acadiana will do fundraising on a more regional level, and that money will trickle down, but any money we raise,
is for, correct?
yeah, now it goes through their accounting systems, but
It's for the Crowley Club.
yes, it's earmarked for the Crowley Club only.
Anyone else? Mr. Woodridge?
How you doing, Tracy?
Good, I'm good, Byron. Thank you so much for coming to that
I
building
do
with us.
apologize, not making some meetings.
That's okay. Everybody's, believe me, we know everybody's busy.
And I want to thank you and all the members you got behind you are some awesome people that take the pride and dedication to want to see something happen in Crowley that I think we've been needed. But it just depends on, God allow things to happen on His time.
Right.
And if we let God happen on God's time, then we know it's right. We want things sometime on our time, but if you gotta wait on God to make sure, and I know most people behind you personally, and we couldn't have it in a better place where we wanna put the Boys and Girls Club. And Pastor Morgan and First Lady, I talked to them a lot, and we'll be so proud to do something for the city of Crowley. And if we don't touch the youth right now and get in a better place, and all of us that see TV or everybody watch sports and stuff like that, they hear the Boys and Girls Club that changed so many people's lives. Shaquille O'Neal is one of them. That's where he went. He had a lot of players had the opportunity to start off that safe haven in the early years. And if we don't keep a safe haven for our kids, how we expect our kids to be in the next 5 years? And we gotta do it as parents, grandparents, aunts and uncles to take care of the next generation to come up. And y'all have done an awesome job and so much dedication for the people you got behind you. it's amazing
I
to talk
appreciate that.
now amongst ourselves to see Crowley having, ain't no having. God had already ordained this morning for Crowley.
We just need to open the doors. We need to make it
We just
happen.
need to
Yeah.
follow through God's plan and make it happen. So if God planned it, who are us not to make it happen? And it takes, I don't know, every 30 people in this building right now or in this room to make it happen. You said, if I can only get $5, then $5 is better help than somebody giving $50. Every little bit helps, and that's a mindset we need to have to make this work. And it's gonna take everybody in the city of Crowley or the Katy Parish as a whole to make this happen. And we will see the fruits of the labor in years to come to make sure what difference we made in these kids' life.
Amen.
And I
And
see,
just, I'll leave you guys with this, two things. First of all, the Katy Parish Police Jury, Walter Andrews, was able to set aside $30,000. They had that ARPA money, so we were very thankful to them. The next thing is that, remember kind of what he was saying, they aren't in it for the short game, they're in it for the long game. Yes, they will help children every day, but they'll also be teaching them to fish. So, and that's what this is about. This is about character development, about personal development, about producing productive citizens.
you right.
And reaching them where they are. And the last thing is, I want you to know that there are no financial or no restrictions. Any child between the ages of 6 and 18 can come to the Boys and Girls Club. You can ask that question. You don't have to fill out any financial forms, you don't have to do any of that. So anybody who would like to come between those ages can, it's open.
Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you guys, I
Thank all of
appreciate
you.
you.
Thank you. All right, standing committee reports, Public Works, Alderman Dore.
Thank you, Mayor. Oh,
Hold on, we missed some, yes. We're moving right along here. We skipping over. Any agenda amendments, approval of minutes from the regular council meeting on October 11th?
So moved.
second.
Motion by Alderwoman Marks, second by Alderman Core. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Mayor's report, the sales tax chart, user fee chart. As you know, those numbers come in very late in the game. We will, the clerk was out today, sick. I will have that stuff emailed to you all, should be able to get it out to you tomorrow. He was not able to prepare that for us. Standing committee reports, now we're ready. Public Works, Mr. Dore.
Sure.
Yeah, I think so. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Okay, Public Works Committee convened Wednesday, November the 1st, 2023, 4 p.m. in the council chambers. A quorum was present. Okay, dude, I don't feel that I need to read off all 6. I could just read off what happened. Okay, motion was offered by myself and by Alderman Thompson Bradford. Oh, that sounds important. Thompson Bradford. to defer the following items to the regular council meeting, which is now, that we would not make any payments until the job was completed. Since the motion was offered and seconded to defer the following items, which there's 6 of them, to a special meeting for the council in December or the regular meeting.
No, this. Yeah, we need to read, the minutes so that we can vote on it and then get in discussion, we'll get in the, understanding that it's not done and it won't be.
Okay. Yes, please.
Yes, please. That way we can keep it all in line.
All right. A motion made by Alderman Sandy Martin, seconded by Alderman Vernon Martin to approve partial payment estimate number 20 to Glen Leger Construction Company LLC for the citywide street improvement contract A project in the estimated amount of $169,599 contingent upon completion of the punch list, and the motion carried. So moved.
Okay,
Got a motion by Alderman Dorey,
Second.
second by Alderman Martin. Discussion. Mr. Mayor?
Yes, all of these items are gonna be deferred the way that Jeff read it just a minute
Okay.
ago. If the procedure is to read the minutes, I would have him read the minutes, but not so move, and then we'll move on.
If you want to defer all of them, we can make that motion.
That's what I would do.
That's what you want to do, Jim? Make the motion to defer all 6?
That's what I'll make the motion to defer.
Second.
Okay. So we have a motion to defer all 6 items, action items on the Public Works Committee agenda
Second.
by Mr. Dorey until the December meeting. Second by Alderwoman Marks, or a special meeting if need be, right?
That's right.
Okay. Because I'm trying, we may have a special meeting anyway for Blight, I'm trying to get that lined up so we can do it, it'll be at the end of the month.
Very good.
So that date will be determined, if we need a special meeting. And then, second by Alderman Marks, correct? You good with that?
Yes.
Any more discussion? Just so that y'all know, the punch list is not complete, so we're not approving any of this. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, in non-action items, Public Works Director Albert John delivered the monthly Public Works report. And City Engineer Tim Mader presented the monthly Engineers Report. With no further business to come before Public Works Committee, the committee recessed.
Thank you, sir. Utility Committee, Alderman Martin.
Thank you, Mayor. Utility Committee convened Wednesday, November 1st, 4 p.m. in council chamber. Quorum is present. Under action items, a motion was offered by Alderwoman Sandy Marks and second by Alderman Chuck Ashley to approve partial payment estimate number 14 to NCMC LLC for the rehabilitation of the sewage collection system project in the amount of $8,506.80. Motion carried, and that's so moved.
Offered by Alderman Martin, second by Alderman Core. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Under non-action items, wastewater superintendent Tim Crater presented the monthly wastewater report. City engineer Tim Mader presented the monthly engineering report. There'll be no further action to come before utility committee recess.
Thank you, sir. Recreation Committee, Alderman Ashley.
Recreation Committee convened Wednesday, November 1st, 2023 at 4 p.m. in the council chambers, and a quorum was present. Under action items, a motion was made by Alderman Jeff Dorey and seconded by Alderwoman Katie Shasso to approve partial payment number 6 for the new restroom/concession and restroom renovations at the Tony Robichaud Sports Complex for a total of $108,364.31. Motion carried, and I so move.
Offered by Alderman Ashley,
Second.
second by Alderman Martin. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Under non-action items, Alderman at Large Chuck Ashley presented the monthly Recreation Department report. City Engineer Tim Mader presented the monthly Engineers report. There was no further business to come before the Recreation Committee, and the committee recessed.
Thank you, sir. Zoning and annexation, Alderman Martin.
Okay, here we go. Let's see, zoning and annexation committee convened Wednesday, November 1st, at 4 p.m. in council chambers. A quorum was present. I guess we go to what you got here?
The agenda, yes.
All right, well,
Can,
there was no, according to this, there's no action item to no,
No,
no
but
action item.
on the actual agenda that's printed up, if you want to take items 1 through 9 and vote for them in global,
Yeah, we can go ahead and do that. Do I need to read them?
no, sir.
Good. Okay, let's see, we have, 1 through 9. Did not go to committee, they, each one of them have a favorable recommendation by the planning and zoning committee, dealing with annexation
And result.
And
and rezoning from R1 residential district to, what we going?
Well,
C3?
some of them are different, depends on what they are.
Each one has,
Each one with proper zone.
Correct.
Okay,
that's
that's
why
fine.
I make that recommendation.
All right,
And you would make that recommendation.
and I'll make the full recommendation.
Okay. Offered to, approve 1 through 9 listed on the agenda for the zoning and annexation, the annexation of the properties and rezoning of each property as listed and as read in the ordinance. Yeah, but you have, second by Alderwoman Marks, discussion. You said 1 through 8, Chris?
Yes, that's the, 9 is different.
What is it?
Oh, yes. It's, you want to change that to 1 through 8, Mr. Martin?
Yes, let's go ahead and make it 1 through 8.
Okay. And we'll look at 9 differently in another vote. You good with that, Ms. Marks?
Yes.
Okay, second for 1 through 8. Any more discussion?
Mayor, you had indicated one of the items was the planning commission, recommended different zoning, then you know which one that was?
Just the Cobalt Blue property on Northern Avenue.
No, it's
Cobalt Blue property on Northern Avenue.
That's number 4.
Which goes Center Point.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, number 4.
They recommend in one, they'll grandfather in the use at present, but if it changes in the future, you know, if it's empty for over a year, it'll revert to M1 medical. You know, use.
Okay, that's it.
They come
Yes,
down and they-
Yes, sir, it's in number 4.
All right, thank you.
Consider the possibility of rezoning M1 instead of C3. And so that's number 4. All right, any other discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Now, if you want to bring up 9, read
Number 9, upon favorable recommendation by the planning and zoning committee to approve the re-subdivision of property owned by Joyce Morgan as shown in preliminary and final plat showing lot 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the east 35 feet of lot 4, block 16, as shown on plat located in the city of Crowley, Acadia Parish. Motion carried and I so moved.
Offered by Alderman Martin, second by Alderman Core. Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay. There'll be nothing further to come before zoning and annexation. The committee recess.
Thank you, sir. Public Safety, Alderman Core.
Thank you, Mayor. The Public Safety Committee convened Wednesday, November 1st, 2023, at 4 p.m. in the council chambers, and the quorum was present. Under action items, a motion was offered by myself and seconded by Alderman at Large Chuck Ashby to approve all beer and liquor licenses listed below in global. Alderman Samuel Reggie recused himself from the vote. The motion carried, and I so move.
Second.
Offered by Alderman Core, second by Alderman Dorr. Dorr Ray. Discussion?
Okay, Mayor Moore.
Yeah. Use half of his name. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be, we have a few names, that's not on here, they still have next meeting to.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
One more month before they're late.
Yes, thank you.
Under non-action items, Chief of Police Troy Abear presented the monthly police department report. Chief Louis Buda Romero presented the monthly fire department report. City Inspector Tony Duhon was not present. His report was read by Alderman Brad Core. There was no further action to come before the Public Safety Committee and the committee recess.
Thank you, sir. Public buildings, Alderman Wilridge.
Public Business Committee convened Wednesday, November the first, at 2023, 4 p.m. in the council chamber. There was a quorum, was present. On the action item, Alderman Byron K. Wilson proposed to amend the agenda to include the resolution declaring the Enterprise Center as surplus building and no longer needed for public use. After roll call vote, all approved, motion was carried and so moved.
Second.
All right, so what we'll do is we'll bring up the resolution now. Yeah, so item 12, we'll bring up that resolution now so that y'all can vote on that in this right now, with what you just read. So the resolution is a resolution of the Board of Aldermen of the City of Crowley, State of Louisiana, declaring that certain buildings, structure known as the Enterprise Center, situated on lots 1, 2, 3, and 4 of Block 7 of the original City of Crowley, as a surplus building and no longer needed for public use, authorizing the contract or the licensed contractor for the demolition of said building, authorizing the mayor of the City of Crowley to issue requests for proposals and to qualify bidders for the demolition and removal of the structure, including all salvage rights to rough timber, milled lumber, and other building materials, and requiring the cleanup and removal of all debris from the site comprising of the Enterprise Center building, authorizing the mayor of the City of Crowley to execute any and all documents as may be necessary and proper in connection therewith, and to provide all matter relative thereto in connection therewith. So we need a motion for that.
So moved.
Offered by Alderwoman Marks, second by Alderman Core. Discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. All right, Mr. Wilridge.
A motion was made by Alderman Brad Cole and seconded by Alderman Sandy Grady to approve the resolution for Enterprise Center to move council meeting to the regular council meeting. The motion carried.
You don't need to move on that. We did that.
On the non-action items, Alderman actually asked the city had bid for the demolition of the Enterprise Center. Mayor Marshall spoke about the companies that gave bids. There was no further action coming forward. The building committee and we recessed.
Just FYI, I have received a couple of more bids and a couple of more phone calls, so by the end of next week, we should be able to have a final decision on a demolition company to do that. All right, insurance, thank you, Alderman Wood. Insurance and personnel, Alderwoman Marks.
The Insurance and Personnel Committee convened Wednesday, November the 1st, 2023, 4 p.m. in the council chambers. A quorum was present. There was no action items, no non-action items. There was no further action to come before the Insurance and Personnel Committee. The committee recessed.
Thank you, ma'am. Community and Economic Development, Alderwoman Chesson.
Thank you. The Community and Economic Development Committee convened Wednesday, November 1st, 2023, 4 p.m. in the council chambers. A quorum was present. There were no action items. Under non-action items, Alderwoman Katie Chasson spoke about upcoming events in Crowley. There was no further action to come before the Community and Economic Development Committee. The committee recessed. There is one thing that I would like to mention. On Friday, we had someone from Louisiana Economic Development visit in Crowley. We were one of the first communities to participate and complete the Louisiana Development Ready Communities Program, and that was about 12 years ago. And Louisiana Economic Development, in an effort to continue to focus on what is now probably 57 or 58 communities, are visiting those communities and doing some social media posts about the communities. Crowley is the first one that they focused on. We were very happy for that. You can go to opportunitylouisiana.com on Facebook. They are also on Instagram, and you'll see a lot of video of our downtown area. They visited Supreme Rice Mill, and you'll see some information on that, talking about our opportunities. Of course, agribusiness is the mainstay of our economy, and looking at some things that could be helpful to that industry continuing to grow. So the mayor visited with us as well. We were happy to do that, and we'll continue to promote our city in that way.
Thank you, ma'am. That was a good day with them. Let's see, Revenue and Finance, Alderwoman, Lachlan. Man, tongue's all twisted.
The Revenue and Finance Committee convened Wednesday, November the 1st, 2023 at 4 p.m. in the council chambers. A quorum was present. Under action items, we request an approval of a resolution allowing the city of Crowley to invest funds in the Louisiana Asset Management Pool Incorporated, otherwise known as LAMP. And I so move.
Let me read the resolution before you offer it. It's a resolution of the mayor and board of aldermen of the city of Crowley, of Katy Parish, Louisiana, authorizing municipal funds of the city of Crowley, which are available for investment in accordance with law, including Louisiana Revised Statute 332955, to be invested in the Louisiana Asset Management Pool, LAMP. To authorize the city to establish one or more accounts with the LAMP for investment purposes, to authorize the city to enter into an account application and agreement form with the LAMP for that purpose, and to designate and authorize the mayor to act as authorized agent of the city for said purposes. Offered by Alderman Lachlan, second by Alderman Ashby. Any discussion? Just a FYI, the reason this came up, as we're going through the finances and Christie is reconciling accounts, and Vicki came and met with us last week, early this week, or was it last week? I lost track of time here. There's still some work to do. Every time she gets to the end of an account, she finds that it has affected another account. A lot of the things that have happened is some things were paid out of accounts that wasn't maybe supposed to be paid out of, and they were taking money out of certain funds to put in a dedicated account for that purpose, and it wasn't being used for that purpose, and it's a big, huge mess. And there's a lot of progress happening. She is getting there, but we're finding that there's some dormant accounts that have some of them a few $100,000 in, $500,000 in, that's sitting in savings accounts of sorts, or just about every checking account has a savings account. And I guess when that was set up, they were paying pretty good interest. But today, we might as well put it in a flower pot because it's not collecting anything. So anyway, we have some funds, some dedicated funds that are there that we can invest. And LAMP is paid 5.36, 5.34 right now. So why not? Instead of, we're gonna take the money out of the flower pot and put it in the bank, and start making some money on some of our funds. So that's what that's for. and we'll start investing some of this money, in that way. These funds are not, land investment is not a CD. The state treasurer is the president of this organization, and it's specifically for governments. It's not a CD. It's basically, you can move money in and out. In layman's terms, you can move money in and out as you wish, and you collect interest on whatever's in that account. So you're not tying money up for 20 years, like some of our Edward Jones accounts are right now. But you're still collecting some good interest on it. If anybody's interested in looking at any kind of history or historical data for the LAMP, the website is LAMP, L-A-M-P, pool, P-O-O-L.com, lamppool.com. And you can get all the information you want. If any of the public has any questions or concerns, obviously give us a call, and we'll be happy to explain what we're doing moving forward with that. So, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And you're done. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Finish up, okay, there were no non-action items. There was no further business to come before the Revenue Finance Committee, the committee recess.
Thank you, sir. All right, ordinances. Ordinance number 1540. Go ahead and read that. We already read that in the public hearing. Are y'all good with giving me a motion to accept that ordinance? Offered by Alderwoman Marks, second by Alderman Core. Any discussion? All in favor?
And that is with the amendment, with the recommendation from the planning commission.
For the M1?
The M1.
Yes. That is understood. Okay, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Engineers report? You're good. Real quick, before we adjourn, Taste of Crowley tomorrow evening. Yes, sir. Come on up.
In the zoning and planning.
Put your microphone on. Name, please. Name, please, for the.
Terry Martin. Number 9,
Yes, sir.
you were showing that it's property owned by Joyce Morgan. She had passed away last year. The state hasn't settled, so I don't know if that would be a problem. Is that a problem?
Tim's up, took that on, it's on the cloud, sure, right?
That's what's still recorded at the courthouse, right?
I don't know.
Whenever the survey is down,
It
you know,
is.
it's hearing, and I don't think it's a problem, title-wise or anything. You know, identify this property, and Susan, it transferred to Susan, so, in succession, so it should work.
Yeah, it's already been transferred.
Right.
So should be on file with it.
It is, I'm sure it is, yes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, ordinarily, when the planning commission approves a preliminary final plat, the language as reviewed and approved by the city engineer or the designated review agent and the city attorney, so if we include that in the motion, then all of these things would be resolved.
So that's not a problem.
Yes, sir. We're good.
I get it.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Excuse me, I want to ask Mr. Terry, could you mention what we talked about on your street that needs to be on the punch list?
Right, I had brought this up at the, either last month's committee meeting or, city council meeting. On the corner of First Street and Avenue L, which is where one of our houses is, the manhole cover does not set level. Every time somebody drives over it, you get this clunk. And it was supposed to put it on the checklist, I just want to verify that it is there. because-
Yes, sir, it is there. And that god-awful punch list. And,
That's the house I'm gonna be living in, so I want to
Yes, sir.
share that now.
Yes,
Yeah.
you would think the contractors want their, well, they do want their money, but you would think that, you know, they would be in a hurry to finish it, but, yes, sir, it is. It
I
is.
appreciate it.
Yes,
Thanks,
sir.
Terry, I just wanted to make sure that you had your assurance.
Motion to adjourn? Yes, sir.
Me and, Councilman, Willis talked a while back, and I understand that he had talked to you about, one of the units at the Enterprise Center.
Yes, I will get with both the attorneys as they're here before we leave and ask if we can do that. I don't have a problem with it, but, being a government entity, you know very well that I can't just go and hook it and bring it to that church.
No, but I mean, that's the way of doing it with the MOU
Yes.
between the two of them.
Yes, sir.
And, I just wanna make sure that we on tap.
100% okay with that.
Whoever bids on the demolition don't think that,
Yes.
well, I mean. that-
Well, we'll have to make that happen before that, yeah.
Good enough, thank you.
Thank you. Motion offered by Alderman Poor, second by Alderwoman Chasson. All in favor? Opposed? Meeting adjourned.
Thank you, man, because I'm gonna ask you, for your help, talk to him about that. But two great minds think alike. And I was, sometimes it's kind of hard to ask for help, but I can't see why we can't take that acquisition.
We haven't figured this out. Somebody gave me a call on that.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah? It's a great reaction.